You have not wandered here by accident. You were sent just like he was. Before the thunder, before the sea, before the fire touched the bush, there was a basket floating in the river. You have not wandered here by accident. You were sent just like he was. Before the thunder, before the sea, before the fire touched the bush, there was a basket floating in the river, and in it was a name that would shake the system. Tonight, I do not give you a story, I give you a memory. This is episode 1 of The Initiate of Fire. This is the voice of the soul, hidden in the rushes. I am Amadi, and this is the voice of flame. What if your soul wasn't born, but smuggled into the world? What if your power was hidden before you could speak, because it terrified the system before it even woke up? In every age of awakening, there comes a king who fears what he cannot see. His name changes, Pharaoh, Caesar, Empire, algorithm, but his decree is always the same. Kill the seed before it speaks. This is not history. This is the war on your soul. The male children were ordered slain, not because they had done wrong, but because they might rise. The masculine spark, when lit with God's fire, becomes something the system cannot program. It becomes lawless light. It liberates. And so it must be drowned before it speaks. The cry did not come from heaven. It came from fear. Let the daughters live, the false king said, but strike the sons down in silence. Let beauty remain, but crush the will. Yet in the shadows of the kingdom, a woman wept with God in her breath and placed a future in a basket. She did not throw him into the Nile. She released him into the will of the Most High. The basket, coated in pitch, sealed from death, becomes the ark of hidden greatness. This is not an escape plan. It is strategy. You were born this way too. You were sent down a river of forgetfulness. Your memory sealed, your fire veiled. You've been floating ever since. Not lost, but watched. Moses in the water is the soul in descent, covered in prophecy, surrounded by danger, yet untouched by it. The system cannot destroy what it cannot find. And so the Most High hides the chosen in plain sight. The Karans. The water sang the names of the forgotten. But one name, it would not drown. I floated, not knowing I was guarded. I wept, not knowing angels wept for me. I passed the idols, I passed the soldiers. And then she reached. Pharaoh's daughter finds him. The system's own blood, the daughter of control, becomes the tool of divine reversal. This is mercy in disguise. God will use the hands of the empire to raise the very one who will tear it down. She draws him out and names him Moses, drawn from the water. But the world never truly names the chosen. The name is older than the voice that speaks it. To be drawn from water is to be drawn from potential into purpose. And now the boy becomes a bridge, Hebrew by blood, Egyptian by tongue, raised in two worlds, but owned by neither. The drawn one. She lifted me and called me what she saw. But what I was, she did not know. My name burned long before her lips touched it. I was drawn by something older than hands. I was sent. Moses is raised in the house that kills his kind, yet he is untouchable. Because he is not just protected, he is strategically placed. He is taught the tongue of empire, the science of sorcery, the geometry of gods carved in stone. But none of it feels real. The fire beneath his ribs won't go out. He is trained by Pharaoh, but haunted by a voice he doesn't yet understand. This is your story too. You were educated in their systems, fed their language, tested by their scales, but the fire inside you kept whispering. This is not home. Poetic fire fall, the whisper. But something inside me rose like a roar. They taught me to build with bricks of logic, but my dream spoke in fire. They taught me to bow to Ra and bend to the gods of empire, but something inside me rose like a roar, and it cannot stay silent. I could not obey the lie. Even before I knew the truth, he sees the injustice, an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, and he cannot stay silent. But his fire is not yet refined. It bursts forth in violence. He slays the Egyptian and hides the body. This is the danger of uninitiated fire. Divine anger without divine order. Power without instruction. Fury without vision. Moses flees. Not because he is weak, but because he is not yet ready to run correctly. Before you are sent to free others, you must pass through the fire that frees you from yourself. The fleeing, I ran. Not from Pharaoh, but from what I had done with my flame. Power misused will always demand the wilderness. So I went where names don't matter, where only silence speaks. He becomes no one, a shepherd, a shadow. And that is exactly what the Most High needs. Because only the one who lets go of his title can be trusted with the name. And that name will come in fire. But that's for the next chapter. When fire speaks, it doesn't ask questions. In episode 2, the flame will not just whisper, it will call you by name. But ask yourself first, what part of you must flee so the real you can hear? The world is full of scrolls that were never opened. But tonight, you've read your own. You were not born by chance. You were hidden. You were floated down the river of time because the world was not ready for your fire. It still isn't.